Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Algorand or Algo. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So by the time that this video does go live, the volatile swings in this market might have changed drastically within like the price range on things. But what hasn't changed is the utility factor behind Algorand. So I've talked to you guys about a deep dive in on the Algorand team, the Algorand project, and the value that I foresee this really truly unlocking going forward. And I think that that is, right now at this current moment in time, more solidified than ever before. I think that in terms of what Algorand has been pushing in terms of updates, has truly kind of really, gone against the grit of this market and really kind of showed you like these teams are here to stay with a lot of these utility gems. We've seen Hedera continuously growing, Ripple continuously growing. Like these are the projects that I like to be in, that I like to see the long-term view behind, because it really kind of solidifies our positioning in them. Now, of course, I've talked to you guys about Algorand multiple times in the past. This token has hit $2.40 for the all-time high just recently. And with a 10 billion max supply, I could actually foresee this running to like $5 to $10 long term. And I'm here for the long term on Algorand. I have been accumulating. I have been averaging in here and there. And I think that this is a solid token. So let's just dive in and let's talk about why. So not only have we been continuously seeing, pushed updates from the team, but we've been seeing, projects continuously building and launching on the ecosystem. Here's Algo'S. I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. They're basically, doing peer-to-peer DeFi loans and things like that. But we do see, we love seeing the ecosystem working together. Partnerships and community are the bedrock of growth. We're excited to announce our partnership with Algo Wallet. We are working together to streamline all the processes using Para Wallet. And yeah, you love to see it. Like adoption of the ecosystem, like in terms of growth, like that's what is going to drive success. Like having these, massive use cases being built out on the ecosystem, continuously growing, continuously collaborating, like that's what we want to see. This is what I've also said with Hedera as well. Like we want to see transactional growth and utility or utilization of the network, and this is exactly what I want to see. Projects going live, projects building at the worst time in this market. It truly solidifies these projects in regards to like the foundational support of like utility around this market. And we do see here from Algorand, this is an exciting new avenue for financial institutions to access all the Algorand's layer 1 has to offer, from speed and scalability to security and the lowest possible environmental impact. And this was their integration with Taurus HQ. Now I actually want to talk to you guys about this. So Taurus HQ should not be disregarded at all. Now, of course, I'm going to talk to you guys about the article, then we will break down Taurus HQ. So let's dive into this. So Algorand blockchain now integrated with the Taurus platform. This goes back to the 14th. Now we do see, given banks and financial institutions access to the Algorand ecosystem, Taurus Protect, the #1 custody platform for banks, has fully integrated Algorand blockchain. Now supports Algo native token, Algo staking capabilities, and ASA. Algorand standard assets. This is similar to like F assets with Flare. Taurus's clients will be able to utilize Algorand to generate passive yield by collecting staking rewards, as well as issuing and managing tokenized assets leveraging ASA. Also, Taurus also has expanded Taurus Explorer, its blockchain connectivity infrastructure to support Algorand. It's great to see Taurus, an industry-leading digital assets platform, now integrated with Algorand blockchain, said Pietro Grisano. I'm hoping that I'm saying that name right. Business Solutions Director for Europe at Algorand. This is an exciting new avenue for financial institutions to access all the Algorand's layer 1 has to offer, from speed and scalability to security and the lowest possible environmental impact. And yeah, I think that this is awesome in terms of like tokenization capabilities and tokenization opportunities. In terms of like a lot of these, clients in general, like this is huge for not only Algorand, but it's also, huge for Taurus, which, by the way, they have been focused on some pretty big opportunities in this space. For example, if you go to their website, you can see their, overall story, but you can see what they're focused on. So back then, the available infrastructure was not meeting our needs, nor those of institutional players such as stock exchanges, banks, and asset managers. I want you guys to understand what this entire company is focused on here. Stock exchanges, banks, asset managers, all having a direct connection to Algorand. This is absolutely massive. we do see Taurus's solutions are in production and entrusted with the full spectrum of banks, systemic banks, investment banks, private banks, retail/digital banks, crypto banks, trading venues. And this is all focused on Algorand. They all have a direct bridge to Algorand. And we do see down here we deliver results, 20 plus clients. We work with the leading financial institutions and pioneering companies, 12 protocols, two patents filed, and 75% engineers. And by the way, look at some of these names here. Swissquote, SIBA Bank, Temenos, Arab Bank, and then Vontobel. But then we do see down here, powered by the world's class expertise. More than 70% of our employees are PhDs, engineers, and cybersecurity experts. But look at these names over here. You see Google, IBM Research, PwC, P&G, FINMA, McKinsey and Company. And these are, who they've worked for. These are major names within the sector. And of course, we do see, Meet the Team, Zero Tolerance on Security, Holistic Solutions, Battle Testa as well. And like I said, they are talking about tokenized securities, basically leading into the tokenized age of, the space. I actually have a video on LCX that you guys should definitely watch for, because that is also going to be talking about tokenization of the stock markets. It's huge. But you could read more about this company if you guys want. On their About page. This is basically their About page that I just talked about. But you can check out like their leadership, security, and stuff like that. They also have a pretty large ecosystem. If you click their ecosystem, you can learn more about it. But it's focused on banking and financial institutional areas. You do see their cloud partners and things like that. Like a large amount of these are just like kind of their cloud providers. Core banking, though, like these are the major names behind their core banking. You see partners and associations. MasterCard is one of them. You also do see some of the other ones like over here in terms of like their research and stuff. But I'm more so like kind of focused on this. Like MasterCard is a huge name here in terms of like, partners and associations. But yeah, I think that this is great. They have a ton of solutions in terms of like, the areas in which like we focus on all the time, like CBDCs, stable coins, tokenization of assets. Like this is, a large company with a ton of financial institutional backing. And also, we did see welcome to Algorand ecosystem, Banksa official. I talked to you guys recently with Hedera actually, because Banksa also listed Hedera, which again solidifies our positioning not only on Algorand but also Hedera itself. And yeah, Banksa is pretty large. You do see your Web3 project starts here. Banksa is the leading global Web3 on and off-ramp solution. You can essentially buy, in terms of like USD, like you could buy certain assets on here, and Algorand is going to be one of them. As you guys do see, Algorand is there. You could also buy like other ones like even HBARs on here. But yeah, you could buy basically any assets with just, your card essentially, which I love to see. And we do see we power the leading Web3 projects. You do see all of the major like exchanges and projects as well. I think that Banksa is a huge giant. As you can see, like you could pay with anything, so it allows for a lot more retail adoption, retail opportunity as well in terms of like just like not utilizing an exchange, if you will. So it definitely is a great way to really kind of get into crypto, get around like exchanges in general. Obviously, I wouldn't hold my crypto on Banksa, just in my opinion. I actually like to hold it in cold storage, but everybody has their own preference here. But I definitely think that Banksa is a project that I personally love. I think that from the perspective on like even Hedera, in terms of like the research that I did on them during that time, it was definitely a project that I think could really ultimately usher in retail adoption pretty quick compared to like exchanges, because exchanges at the end of the day are a little bit confusing for just like the typical individual. You got to get used to it. This in terms of like the UI, it's very clean, and like I said, in terms of like the ecosystem, this definitely does help build out the ecosystem and also allow for a lot more adoption from the retail standard, and also it does help with Web3 growth as well. And last but not least, I really just want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the ecosystem in regards to what we have just recently seen with two projects. So here is Kion Foundation building NewFi, a new era in DeFi. We are thrilled to announce that Kion Foundation has selected Algorand as the underlying blockchain for the Kion Finance Protocol. We will be introducing a suite of products within a complete DeFi asset management ecosystem. Stay tuned. And here we have down here a little spice this morning. Kion Foundation is building a regulated DeFi asset management ecosystem on Algorand, low-cost decentralized exchange, marketplace, etc. So yeah, pay attention to this use case, as this is actually going to be pretty huge. Like I said, I just made a video on Algorand, I want to say like a week ago, and it's been like non-stop partnership after partnership after partnership. The ecosystem is exploding right now in adoption. And also Nimble. We are excited too. Algo Foundation stepping up to lay 50% of user premiums for DeFi risk cover when utilizing Algorand protocols. That's serious commitment. If you guys missed it, so this basically is going to allow like a insurance protocol to the Algorand system. Excited to announce a strategic partnership with Nimble to bring ecosystem-wide insurance protection to users and projects building on Algo. Nimble is a decentralized insurance protocol powering a new way reward for insurance. Like I said, you love to see things like this. It truly puts a little bit of a trustworthy factor behind things like this, and it also kind of helps you sleep at night, if you will, by utilizing projects within the ecosystem. So you love to see things like this being built out. And like I said, in terms of the ecosystem, I shared with you guys this on my other video. The numbers just continue to grow. The names continue to grow. There's so many incredible projects building on Algo right now. There's so many, in terms of like use cases that are like very, very interesting from the perspective on like not only like institutional demand, but also like very cool use cases around like finance, payments, even like GameFi, the metaverse, NFTs and stuff. So, and you could browse like all the, categories here. For example, I can come down here to like, NFT marketplace. Here's the NFT marketplaces, NFT projects, for an example. You can see them all, and you can go visit them and things. I love it. I mean, in terms of the ecosystem from a perspective on like how fast it's growing compared to like other blockchains, I would say Algorand is probably launching about like roughly 2 to 3 partnerships per week. This has been growing rapidly, and yeah, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.